Hello all my gals, gays, and theys. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Spooky Susie Sparkle and you can call me Susie. Today we are going to get down and dirty with the brand new Jeffree Star Cosmetics Banana Fetish collection. Now, I did not get all of the collection. I wasn't interested in getting things right away. I'm working on myself a little bit when it comes to makeup buying compulsions. I am trying to make it where I don't just buy everything, because I am planning a wedding and that is a little bit more up there on the list than buying makeup. So in this collection I only got 4 things. I got the Banana Cream Pie Lip Scrub, which I have used multiple times. The reason it's not in my hand is because it's in my purse. So I use that. I also got the Banana Fetish Splattered Paint t-shirt. It's black with the Banana Fetish in big cursive. Now, the things I am going to show you are the other 2 things that I got, and that is the new moisturizer. We're going to use this as our prep skincare final step, and of course the Banana Fetish palette. So let's put this banana moisturizer on. I have used it a couple of times now, so this isn't necessarily a first impressions, but I was hoping in my unboxing that it would be as amazing as the OG one from Jeffree Star Skin, and I was right, because it is absolutely amazing. It still has the thick creaminess, the moisturizing, and instead of a strawberry smell like the OG, it smells like bananas. Now, I don't mind scents. I like them as long as they are not like perfumey or chemical-y, if that's a word. Also going to be using the face mist from Jeffree Star Skin, just to get that final prep. My eyes are prepped and ready for makeup, so let me show you the Banana Fetish palette. I do have it turned upside down, but here she is. I was not very impressed the first time I saw this palette revealed. I don't know if it was the lighting or what in the reveal video, but it was not pulling very many yellows. But looking at it on my camera and seeing other people review it on their cameras, and definitely having it in person, you really can see the pools of yellows in much more than like 3 or 4 shades. I still don't understand the pink and blue. We will not be using the blue tonight. I don't know if I'm ever going to get any use out of this blue. I'm going to try someday, but the pink I think I'm going to use as an ultra blush. I want to do an ultra glam look, trying to utilize as many of the mattes and shimmers as I can in one look, because I just don't have the strength to do multiple looks. I thought about doing multiple looks for one video, but I was like, no, that's not going to happen. I do love his flat palettes for the simple fact of I can do this, or at least my palette's doing this, and there's no breakage or bendage, but it is nice to be able to do this, and there is a nice big mirror. So let's get into it, shall we? I'm going to start with this packing brush. This is from the Cookies and Dream collection from e.l.f., I believe. Yes, e.l.f. And I'm going to start with the shade, let's start with Cream Pie. And we're just going to put that all over the lid to get some sort of idea of what I'm doing. that shade laid down very nicely. I definitely recommend a white or very, very light base to really make any yellows pop, or any bright colors really, but obviously with this yellow palette we want to make the yellows pop. So that was cream pie. That was cream pie. So this was one of the originals that when it was revealed I was like, okay, yeah, I see that yellow. So I wanted to go ahead and start with that because I had a feeling it would be really nice. Now I'm going to go into a little bit of, it looks like it's the lightest shade in the palette, and it's called My Peeps. And it is a very, very pale yellow. I mean, it's even more pale than this one. These two are very similar. This is just the tip, and that's just the tip. And then My Peeps is that. You can see the difference. My Peeps is lighter. So, and this is more of a pale lemon color, whereas this is almost like a yellow white color. So we're going to take the yellow white color and blend to the top along the brow bone. That blended out quite nicely. It is definitely a very light shade, which honestly makes it perfect to do that technique for, because I mean, that looks so good, and we're not even like close to being done, but I really love how that is looking. So now I am going to go into a darker shade, and I am going to go into Hammock, and it is sort of a dark mustard color. Like that. Although, you know, looking at it in the camera, it looks a lot like cream pie. So let's swatch cream pie again and put them side by side. No, very different. Although not as dark as I would like. But let's go ahead and test it. If it's not dark enough for the blending portion and the outer V portion, then we'll go into a darker shade. It'll give me an opportunity to try many shades just to test them out. That's what we're doing. We're doing a first impressions. We're doing a try as many as we can kind of thing. So let's just play the science game. So I've got a Morphe M456 here. It's just a small fluffy brush, and we're going to dip into Hammock. Dip into Hammock and just put it on the outer corner here and see if it deepens it up where I want it. Not really. It is giving it a little bit of depth, but it does not perform really well completely on camera. I mean, you can see the difference. It definitely brings a boldness to the yellow, so I am going to mix it in, but I'm just going to blend it right over top of My Peeps. Was it My Peeps? No, Cream Pie. I'm blending it right over the top of Cream Pie because it looks really good. It definitely gives it like a bolder look. It just doesn't deepen it like I had a feeling it wouldn't. So while using Hammock did give the yellow a lot more of a pop, and it made it a lot more bold. It blended together really well, but I was intending on using a darker shade to try and bring some depth to the look, and really all it did was make it more bold, which is fine. That means we can use another shade in the palette. So we're going to go more now for these like browner shades, the ones that are bringing a little bit more brown to the table. So we're going to go in with Pounding Cake, that one right there. And we are going to grab a smaller blending brush this time. This is my smudge brush from VHS Cosmetics, and we're going to dip into Pounding Cake and see if this shade is dark enough to give me the depth that I want. Pounded Cake did give me a little bit of depth that I'm looking for. It blended just as well as the other ones. I have never really had a problem from these last, I would say, 6 palettes of his with blending issues for the mattes. They've always blended together quite nicely. I'm still looking for a little bit more depth though. In all honesty, like Pounding Cake, it looks so dark in the pan, especially compared to this one right here. They both look dark, but when you apply it, it comes off more of a lighter brown, like more like this. Like, it's very odd. So why not? Let's go with Don't Choke. It's the darkest brown in there. It's my palette is already dirty because I accidentally put my finger in it the other day when I was doing the unboxing. So we're just going to take a titty tatty bit. I just kind of wiped the same smudge brush off. We're going to take a titty tatty bit of Don't Choke, and we're just going to keep our eyes like open and relaxed in just the tiniest bit of Don't Choke right there, mixed into that other brown, just the tiniest bit. And see, that already for me, maybe not on camera, but for me in person, it already makes like a world of difference for the depth of it. I'm not completely mad at it though, because as you can see, I am barely having to do any work to get these to all kind of meld together. And when I look close, I can honestly see all the colors that I've used. So I really like that. That's for damn sure. That's awesome. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my crease, and we're going to use 2 different shimmers, maybe 3, on our eye area, and then we're also later going to be using one of the shimmers as a face highlight. So let me get my crease cut and I'll be right back. Okay, I am ready to test out some shimmers. So I want to use 3 or 4 shimmers in this palette today to do this. So first we're going to go into Never Bitter, which is this darker shimmer right here, which also looks incredibly similar to, I think it's called Money Heist in the Blood Money palette. Give me just a second. I'm going to go grab the Blood Money palette. Okay, here is the Blood Money palette. It is very loved. And we are just going to do a finger swatch for Money Heist. And then on the other finger, I am going to put the Never Bitter and see. Oh no, they are very different actually. This is the Never Bitter and this is Money Heist. They're just 2 versions of a duochrome gold, really. Yay, that makes me happy. I do enjoy duochrome moments. So let's put Never Bitter on the outer part of the eye, blending it with those darker colors. Now, I've seen one too many people already talk about how these particular shimmers are not performing as well if you put them on a brush. So I'm going to do the fingers. I've got clean fingers. So I'm going to go into Never Bitter and just apply it with my finger. And then I'll clean it up with a clean flat brush as I see fit, because I'm hearing all kinds of stuff about how this particular formula is not doing so hot on a brush. The shimmers. The mattes obviously performed fine, but Okay, so we're just tapping that just on the outer part. It's very lovely. Once again, not as dark as I thought it would be, even though it looks fairly dark in the pan. Very odd. Okay, so I'm just placing this, and then I'm going to get that small smudge brush from VHS Cosmetics that I used before, and we're just going to lightly dip into pounding cake to just blend that out just a little bit, so there's not just some harshness there. Yes, that's nice. Just to blend it together. Now let's go on the other side. I'm going to finish it up, and then we'll go into with another shimmer and then another shimmer for the inner corner. It definitely did not pull as dark as I thought it would, so that's another mystery, but it does still kind of go with the flow. So now let's go into one of the other shimmers, and we will go into, let's do Vitamin P. It's right there. With a clean finger, we're just going to dip in, and we're going to hit the middle section of the crease. Woo! Okay, now this one performs. Oh, okay. I likey this one. This one's nice. This one's nice, y'all. Okay, so far, Vitamin P has been my favorite shade to use, my favorite shimmer to use. Yeah, I really like Vitamin P. Unfortunately, now that I'm looking at this, there are only 4 shimmers in this entire palette. I feel like normally he has more shimmers, but there are only 1, 2, 3, 4 shimmers in this entire palette, and we're going to use all 4 today. So G-Spot right here, we are going to put that in the rest of the crease and going to use it on the inner corner. For this one, I am going to go in with a brush because I like a precise inner corner. So I'm just going in with a small flat brush. I'm going to just dip it in to G-Spot and then get a face mist or setting spray. This one is the one from Wetnwild, the Care Bear collection. I use it a lot. And we're just going to spray it to saturate it so that I can really get into this inner corner. And I thought that I loved that last one, but this one I believe is brighter than even those. Oh my gosh. Okay, honestly, all 3 of these performed really well as a trio for your eyes. Like they just kind of all blend together into one like cohesive look. I'm digging that for sure. That's so awesome. Oh, that's lovely. Okay, let's finish the other eye and we'll get to the face. That is my favorite shimmer. Oh my goodness, I love that. Now I'm just going to clean it up really quickly. I have lost some of that initial yellow, so I'm just going to take a scrubbed off fluffy brush, dip into cream pie just a little bit to retrieve some of that yellow. I'm going to rest my eyes and just lightly brush it. That is very lovely. I look like a lemon cheesecake or banana pudding. I think that's what I'm going to call this look, is banana pudding. No G. This is looking so lovely now that I've got the tape pulled off. It looks absolutely freaking gorgeous. I am going to do my base, and then we're going to come back and utilize the palette again for the face. Now that I've got my base down, we are going to do something a little wild. We are going to use shade Certified Organic, which is this cool toned yellow brown shade, to contour. Let's see how this goes. Grabbing my LBF5, I believe. Yes, This is a very loose, light brush, so I think it'll be good for blending it out. So we're going to, and it's got a good angle on it too, so we're going to just lightly dip in there. I'm not trying to saturate it because I just want to see if it will perform. That's what we're doing. We're playing, we're testing things out. I'm just going to see how well this works. I mean, obviously it's got a little bit of a yellow tint, but I mean, look at our face. We've got a yellow and brown look going on. So a little of this as contour is actually going to look really cute, I think. So yeah, that actually is looking really cute. I don't like to go too far down with my contour. I don't want to get too crazy with it. With contour, without contour. I like it. Okay, let me finish contouring and then we will get to blush. I am very impressed by using Certified Organic as a contour / bronzing kind of thing. It worked really well for my complexion because of the cool tones of it. So I think it came out really good. Now we're going to go into blush. This is going to be interesting because I know it's going to be heavily pigmented, so I'm going to try and go light and build it up. But if it comes out a little heavier, that's cool too. We're going to use the pink. A lot of people bought this palette, including myself, saying, I am not going to use that pink to go with any of this. So I probably won't, to be completely honest. So we're going to use it as a blush instead. So I've got this LaRousse brush and I'm just going to lightly, see, because it's heavy pigmented. That's why I got a loose brush. That way I could tap off the excess and build. So let's go into Pinky Ring and see if it works as a blush. That came out quite lovely. Like I said, heavily pigmented, so there is a little bit of a learning curve. So I went ahead and did my under eyes. I reestablished my inner corner using G-Spot. It got a little lost in the contour concealing phase. And then on the bottom, I took my Hooked on You liner from She Glam and I buffed and blended that out with going back into Cream Pie, which was the very original shade that I use. I think those blend really well together. Blended the highlighter inner corner into that to keep the eyes nice and bright and open. So now the very last thing I'm going to use is the final shimmer in the palette that I have not used yet, and it is called Star Split. It has the most silvery context in it, which makes me think that it will work well for my skin tone as a face highlighter. So let me grab a highlighting brush and let's test it out. I've got my JS5 brush here and I am just going to dip into Star Split and just kind of swirl it around the brush. I really hope this works as a face highlighter. We're just going to take our Care Bear spray and wet it down. I also have set my face. So let's see how this does as a highlighter. Oh. Okay. It definitely is just a little too dark to be a everyday highlighter, so I don't suggest that. But if you want to glow and do a big glam kind of look, then yeah. It reminds me a little bit of Sarcophagus, which is my favorite highlighter he ever came out with. It is one of the original frosts that he came out with. And I mean, I still have my one that's like 3 years old and I'm still using it all the time. But that is very nice. It does, you know, complement all the yellow, and so to have a little bit of a golden yellow glow is a good thing. So let me put highlighter everywhere that I normally put highlighter, finish the eyes, and then we're going to go to the lips. Here is the final look. I am definitely going to call it banana pudding. I really love how it came out. I used my signature Susie lashes from B3 Cosmetics. I did the lips with Top Shelf, which is a velour liquid lipstick by Jeffree Star Cosmetics, and topped that with my hot chocolate gloss from Melody Love Cosmetics. So, what are my final thoughts on the new Jeffree Star palette Banana Fetish? I really love the fact that it is more yellow than we expected, because the reveal video didn't really do it justice. The mattes did work quite well. I do feel like there is a bit of a learning curve though with this, because, well, number one, there's a blue and pink in here that you can't really work with them because they don't go with anything in the palette. So, you know, using Pinky Ring as blush really paid off, and using Certified Organic as a contour worked really well for me. Obviously, it is not going to work very well for other skin tones, so you really have to know your color matches and your color stories. If you love yellows and you want a yellow based palette, do I suggest you get this one? No. So what are my final thoughts on the Banana Fetish palette? Should you get this palette? Let's answer some questions. I used a lot of these shades, and I can say that they do perform quite nicely. They blend together quite nicely. This is definitely a palette if you are into golds, yellows, brown yellows. We're going to ignore the pink and blue shade. We're just going to pretend it doesn't exist. This is a good palette. I still wish that those had been like yellow greens or something, but you know. And some of them were a little tricky when it came to True to Pan. Pounding Cake was not as dark as I thought it would be. The way it looks to me, the way it looks on the camera, it's the second darkest shade in the entire palette, but it did not perform that way. So that was a little odd, but you know, it worked itself out. It gave me a chance to use lots and lots of shades. So if you like yellow and stuff, I say go for it. If you are someone obviously that collects his palettes and his makeup, I say go for it. Some of these shimmers are quite lovely. Vitamin P was really good, and so was G-Spot. And then if you're pale like me, of course, Star Split made a really beautiful highlighter. So, you know, it is completely up to you. And if I had to score this palette out of 10, I would give it about a 6.57 for multiple reasons that I've discussed today, right down to why the hell is that pink and blue in there. I will always be transparent with you all. Just because I love a brand and have had many good experiences with a brand does not mean I have to love every single thing that they create. And in this case, I do not love it. It is not my favorite yellow based palette in the world. I prefer ColourPop's Honey, actually, if I want a really good yellow based palette. But I had to have this one too, because his formulas are really good. So, you know, in the end, I leave it up to you. These are my own opinions. This was paid for with my own coin. So, you know, if you believe I made a monetary mistake by purchasing this particular collection, that's on me. That's not on you. I'm not I'm not telling you to run out and get it as quickly as possible. Thank you so much for joining me today on my little banana fetish journey. If you enjoyed this video, leave a yellow heart in the comments. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok, both at Spooky Susie Sparkle, to see more beauty content like this. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, any comment. If it's a hate comment, go ahead and leave it. I don't really care. I just want to see some interaction on my page. If you have gotten the palette, what are your thoughts on the palette? Do you want the palette after seeing me do my video? Have you seen other reviews? I want some conversation in the comments, please. And of course, don't forget to subscribe for more beauty content. And also, don't forget to hit that notification bell. That's really important so that you will be notified when I upload a new video. I've been trying to upload on either Wednesdays or Saturdays, so I'm working on that whole timeline thing of when to upload weekly or bi-weekly. If you have a suggestion, please leave it in the comments. Let me know when you would like to see me upload. Until next time, be safe.